Try again. Okay. Hey, investor community. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
We are the co-founders of this amazing community. As we grow, we're growing very rapidly and growing and expanding, which is super exciting, right, Andresa? People don't even know half the time who we are. So that's a good thing, because the goal of this community was to support women and to create circles and community that women can give and get the support that they need. Andresa looks a little frozen, so she's going to probably pop back on here and join us in a moment. But I'm going to just introduce what we're doing here on this live, and then hopefully Andresa will join us, because I think she got frozen a little bit here, which is fine. I'm going to introduce our mentee here in a moment, but what the purpose of today is, and what the purpose of our us going live here today is to really to mentor more of our community members, right? So as we grow, women are posting questions. The goal here is to highlight women, their backgrounds, and what's coming up for them. Where are they getting stuck? And Andresa thought it would be awesome for us to mentor our community members along the way. And why not do it live? So all of you can watch this along with us. And by the way, if you are joining us live, give us a little hello, give us a little shout out where you're coming in from. That'll be awesome. We'd love to get to know more of you, amazing women in our community, because that's what we do this for. Literally, that is our passion, right? To empower women to live a financially free and balanced life. I'm going to pop Andresa back in here. Hey, Andresa, you're back in. I was just given
for my computer to just like, whoop.
No, that's okay. Hey, we have some women joining us. I said, please say hello in the comment section. We're going to introduce our mentee here in a moment. But the goal of this was really about really supporting our community members. And you could see Andresa and I, when we started this 3 years ago, we're very active and we're still active. But hey, Sasha, so nice to have you on here. Hey, Tanya, how's it going with your three thinking of your 3 things that you're proud of today? I'm going to email you later or tag you later, Tanya. That's another topic. But anyway, but these sessions, we thought how cool it'd be to take a woman once a week or every other week. We're trying to figure out the rhythm here. 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops. We give them, pour into them, help them in some way. And then we'd love to do this ongoingly. So we're going to do these live. We're doing these free to support our community. If you want a spot on one of our lives coming up with all, where you can get support that you need, email us at mentorship@therealestateinvestor.com. We will schedule you out. We have Ashley coming up next Wednesday, and then we're going to see what our cadence here is. We just wanted to start with a bang with a couple in a row.
Yeah.
You already posted. Awesome, Tanya. We love women who take action. So without further ado, Andresa, am I missing anything? I'm sorry that I'm just...
No, that's it. The goal here is for you to put yourself in the arena. This is a safe place for you to do that and really get the support you need. Flex that muscle of requesting help and getting the support you need. We have a very resourceful community. If Liz or I don't know the answer, because we don't know all the answers, okay? We do know who probably knows the answers. We're very resourceful with that. So please use us.
Yes. And so we're excited about this series because we're all about empowering. So we're going to bring our guest on here. Xiaofeng, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Liz and Andresa. I'm so glad I have this opportunity to be here. And thank you for this mentorship opportunity for helping women like me. It's just so amazing.
Yes. Well, we're excited to help you, right? Because that's really what our community is about. And we were going to do this, set up a video call and then talking to folks on our team. They're like, you should do this live so other women can help because quite honestly, where sometimes we feel stuck, other women are feeling stuck. So if we can help you and kind of pour into you, we're not just pouring into you and helping you, we're helping other women, which is the whole point of this. So if you don't mind, share with us, share with the community a little bit about yourself. And then we're going to get right to it because we do not want to waste your time and we don't want to waste the women's time. We want to kind of give you, some great awarenesses and some strategies basis of what you need. And then we'll go from there. So share with us a little bit about your background, if you don't mind.
Okay. So my name is Xiaofeng Harman. I started my real estate investment 8 years ago with my husband. So we started purchasing small multifamily property like duplex, triplex, and then it's a total about 17 doors. And then after that, we started to work on new construction on the single family house here in the Bay Area. And we start to build our own house first, and then we say, hey, we can do that. And then we have a network. So we start to have people to come to us, and then we build 2 more high-end single family house. And I have a picture it's showing here.
Nice.
Yeah, we love, that's our motivation was.
I love that.
Yeah, we built total 3 houses in the past 5 years. We learn a lot. It's a hard and a long process. But we want to scale up. So we focus on multifamily since last year, 2020. So we educate ourselves, join the mentorship, connect with broker and investors. But unfortunately, we haven't got any of the multifamily deal yet. So we feel like we are at the bottleneck right now. And that's the reason I reach out and try to get advice how we can move on. And that's one of the big questions.
Right. So let me ask you a couple of qualification, right? Clarification.
Clarification. Yeah, right. We know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Okay.
We have 2 people with accents here. We're all good. We're going to figure this out. So here's my question to you. When you say that you want to scale in multifamily, what specifically size are you referring to?
We are looking for 50 unit plus for each of the the deals, and prefer 100 unit. That's our goal right now. We're looking for because we think we're living in California. We're focused on the out of state.
Yep.
And it's more easier. We can handle like a bigger property, the same area, instead of 20, 30 doors and the travel different cities. So that's our kind of goals.
Okay.
Great. The so I have some ideas for you, but before we launch into ideas and stuff, what do you think is holding? Obviously, multifamily is extremely hot, right? It was popular before COVID. COVID has only increased that, right? Because you have now institutional money literally flooding into the multifamily space. It's crazy town out there in terms of, I mean, I'm in that space, and it's just pricing numbers are not making sense in a lot of places. Deals are happening, but it's just in general, it's extremely hot, right? Because you've all these people who are not in the business for the last year investors are now in this business because they see it as safe and secure because of COVID. Literally, COVID has just increased the popularity. So, but put that aside. It doesn't mean there's no deals to be done. And it doesn't mean there's no opportunity. So for you, what do you find besides that? What's holding you back specifically? Where do you feel most stuck?
Right. So I feel like we are the past 1 year, which we are educate ourselves. We focus on ourselves to know, we have to learn this, each step of the multifamily accreditation and writing and everything. We haven't focused more on the networking much. So like get ourselves out and building the team or relationship. That's part of it. We haven't, shift our focus to that. We feel like we didn't have much of connection. The deal, how we find the deal is pretty limited. We have to call the broker, which we not build very close relationship, and we don't have a source to get directly from the seller. I feel like just limited resource to find the properties.
So if you look back, right, based on what you're saying that you guys did, you and your husband did small duplexes, triplexes, and then you guys did new construction, right?
Right.
Did you guys have partners throughout that time or not?
No, it's pretty much us. Yeah. So
that's the point that I'm trying to come across. You're trying to play the same game, and multifamily is a different game. From my perspective, not that it's impossible, right? But multifamily is a team sport. It's not like tennis that you right? It can be if you have a large cash sitting around, if you have networking, it can be. But what I've seen, because we're looking for properties in another project that we're working towards for women, but it's a team player, and you have different teams. You have to have different people in your team, especially I'm assuming this will be the first one for you guys, right?
Right.
So there are things that you don't know. And when the lender looks at you and the brokers look at you, the brokers are going to say what they care about in their head is, are you able to close this deal? And who do you have on your team that has closed deals before? So I don't know, Liz, if you can talk more about this, but from my perspective, I would rub arms with other folks on your
Right.
first deal so
Mhm.
you can get that credibility going on. Your intention probably, if it is do deals on your own, you will get there. But I think that there's always possibilities for you to learn and save. There's growing pains when you're dealing with a lot of numbers, right? But if you are doing different types of partnership with other people that already done what you're looking to do, you can cut corners. Your learning is quicker, and you make
Right.
less mistakes, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like we are just to realize how important the networking and building a team it is, and which we definitely is lack of. And I think my question is, I feel we both feel like partnership is so important. Maybe it is kind of a build long-term relationship. If we usually, our strategy is holding the multifamily at least for 5 years and more, maybe long. And it's very important to find a good partnership. And
Yes.
can you give us some advice how we find a people maybe is working together? Yeah, that way.
So just a few thoughts, like, with regards to multifamily, the 50 unit range is a unique spot, right? Because it's smaller than the people that are looking for larger assets, and it's too big for the people who are doing duplexes and triplexes. So it is actually a good sweet spot, if you will. I mean, I think all multifamily is very, very popular right now. It's just hot, but I think it's a good place. A couple of thoughts is that and I taught this because we've lived it, is that you have 4 roles on the bus with multifamily. You have acquisitions, people are finding the deals, right? You got, because I'm going to answer your question, but I need to say this before I answer the question.
Yes.
So you have finding the deals, acquisitions, you have the planning aspect. So much of it is, right, the business plan. How are you going to add value? How are you going to create more of a, increased NOI? Like there's a planning part, there's a business planning, underwriting, all that goes into that part, right? Then you have like the funding part. Usually people aren't just putting their own money in, right? They're raising it. They're putting partners together, right? And then there's an execution part, right? Then there's an actual, like, taking that business plan that your teammate or yourself made, and actually then executing it, increasing rents, increasing the interiors, the exterior, blah 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 blah, right? So and that class of property varies, right? You got a property that might have, like, we had a property that had 4 active drug dealers in our property. From, we're just going to add a lot, like everyone wants to just add a little value. They want to take a Class B property in a Class B environment, add a little value, and then grow it. We've done more of the opposite. My husband and I have always gotten involved in, like, really properties that need a ton and that sometimes are in up and coming areas. I'm not saying that that's easy, but my point in saying that the execution has to be there. So when you think about what you and your husband bring to the table, this is good for a partnership, or this could be literally, partnership is a bigger deal. You could also go to a multifamily team in your area that you've been networking with and go, listen, what are your greatest struggles right now? I can tell you what their struggles are probably, but let's make believe we don't know. Finding deals is always something to add value to a team. So if you have a growing team looking for more property, they're never going to be like, yeah, we're good. We have 95 deals that no one else knows about right now. It's not going to be the case. So you want to know where their pain is. when you think about it, it's one of these 4 things. They either have a problem with funds, they have a problem with finding deals, they have a problem putting a plan together, and they have a problem with execution. It can't be any more than that usually. So if you can say, what do me and my husband really do well? Who can we maybe help? And even if that means you have money to invest and you learn along with them, that's a nice step forward versus like partnering. My suggestion, because now you're like dating, and these people that you like and respect, it should be a syndicator, or even it doesn't have to be a syndicator. Maybe it's a smaller multifamily operator. That would even be better. Or I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for, but just thoughts of where do you fall into those 4? Like where have you shined with your new construction and your rentals, and what do they need? And where can you insert yourself to add value to them and their team? That is something you could do right now in this market. That has nothing to do with how hot the market is, because people always need things.
Right. Exactly. That's very, very good to break down the 4 different sections and to see what we're good at and what we are missing. Yes. I think for now, we are strong at 2 of the section. One is the planning section, which is, value add and underwriting, and also execution part, operation part, because we build a house from the ground up.
Yep.
And we have the whole process. My husband do know the bid, like roof. Sometimes he got the bid, he know which one is really good, which one is too high. So yeah, I think we can, and we need help to looking for partner of acquisition, the fundraising.
So if you think about the personality, can I say something really quick?
Yeah,
so I was
gonna.
You're right.
About that.
You're right there. Like, so if you think about, and this is for the women watching, if you're good probably in the planning and the execution, you're probably a more cautious person.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you have to be, right? You're detailed, you're operationally focused. Now think about the people who are finding deals, and think about people that are raising money. They're the opposite. They're the opposite. They're more extroverted, they're more dominant. They're usually more extroverted or dominant and less detailed. They're not operationally focused. They're looking for the next. Think about your best hunters. They're dominant people. They're looking literally for the next thing. They're not like, how can I make this better? They're like, I'm done with this. I want to get on to the next thing. So the type of personality, not just team, but personality, would be a nice compliment, is somebody who's going to be a little more aggressive. They're more out there, but they need help underwriting as they grow. It's exactly the kind of where we were when we partnered with someone who helped bring the larger multifamily underwriting to the table, which was beyond our experience at the time. It was a 49 unit.
Yeah. One thing that I would add, that Liz, you always say that you want to diversify in that area, right? What I'm good at, then you find the gaps, but you want to align on the values. So when you are building a relationship with people there, you're gonna either partner up with them or invest in their deals or do any type of collaboration. Get to know them as people, because the values and what they have done before. Talk to people that invest with those folks before, because it's very important to align the values and then diversify the skill sets and the skill set and what you bring to the table. So which leads to a self-evaluation. Your husband, it's very clear that your experience in construction, I see 2 points there. People that don't have experience in construction, they evaluate the rehab cost much higher than it should, and then therefore they need to reduce the offer. So if you understand what's going on and how can you leverage that, it's a big contribution for the underwriting process. And then for people that are going to invest, if they know that you as an operator, you have all that experience in construction, it's more confidence that people have investing in your business, because they know that you're going to execute that. You have a background in it, and you're gonna execute it. And it's super important to have people in the team that has construction experience and not are just relying on Joe Schmo. Exactly.
Mhm.
then you can really, so it's a big value. You got to find the folks that are
Right.
looking for that too. It starts
Yes.
with conversations.
Right. Thank you for that, because we try to call and connect with investors and who has already done a few deals.
Yeah.
Now the always question is, how we promote ourselves, how we say, hey, we can bring the value to your team. That's kind of very important for us to prepare for.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you bring as much, think about that's a huge value. Obviously, finding the deal and money is a value, of course, but executing the plan, right? We all know, right? You can find the best deal and then just run it into the ground because you did not execute properly. So I think you add so much value, but knowing your value proposition, like you and your husband, and then going into those conversations, especially with more dominant extroverted people, because they're not going to be shy, right? They're going to be confident. They know their limitations, though.
Mhm.
The other thought too could be a syndicator who focuses on larger deals that gets the leads for the 50 units. Doesn't want to really deal with them. It's too small for them. You could be also working with them or helping them in some way and say, hey, if you ever come across this, and we'll bring you on as a mentor and we'll pay you at the end. We'll pay you a part of equity. So it's no money out of your pocket. People do that all the time and they'll mentor you, or they can mentor you, but it's not like this $95 million mentorship. They get maybe some equity versus so there's a lot of creative ways, but I would say before the partnership step, take a baby step and literally get into the game now. And you can get into the game right now if you can add some value. Even if you said, you know what, we're gonna invest in your deal, and this is what we can bring to the table, and we'd love to add value for free to your team. Or I don't know what that looks like. So don't dismiss how important that is for people who have those challenges that you bring to the table.
Right. So one question is, we do think there is so many of the other properties deals looking for LP, and we always feel like, oh, do we save our money for GP project or go for the LP? Is what do you suggest at this kind of stage? Because
really
we feel like we are ready for GP, but maybe it's also good to start with LP and get connection and get the relationship start.
Based on my personality, what's going on, I like the LP first. I like to partner up with, and that's my history, right? I partner up first with somebody that has done it. I learn from it, and then I go. It's like repeatable thing. One thing that I would say to you, don't start a conversation about either partnerships or anything else. Just start a conversation just to start a conversation, right? Liz and I have been putting it's called the Ultimate Partnership Guide. So we talk about it in terms of it's like a marriage, right? You don't meet somebody and say, hey, how are you? My name is so and so. Let's marry tomorrow. Where are we gonna live? Right? So don't you don't even know if you like that person, right?
Right.
So for me, what I see is start surrounding yourself more and more with multifamily folks
Right.
around, and I start having conversations and brainstorm different possibilities. One person that you talk might not have a deal coming up, but if you had that conversation, they know what you're up to and vice versa. And when the deal comes, they say, oh my gosh, she's perfect for that.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
start having conversations as part of your routine, weekly basis. I'm going to connect with 2 people this week. I'm going to connect with 3 people this week, not to offer them a partnership right away, but to build the relationship first.
Yeah.
The next step.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you get into those conversations, listen more than you're talking, and if you're someone who's more cautious, you are going to probably be a great listener, which is great, but you want to know, it's a crazy market out there. What do you got? What's your biggest challenge? People will tell you. Everyone has a challenge. Too much money, too little money, too much time, less time, too many deals, not enough time. There's always a challenge for your most busiest, successful multifamily investor. There's always something in it. right? So you just want to know what it is, and how do you and your husband insert yourself into that, and add value.
Right.
So
very good.
So what are your takeaways? We want this to be helpful, and we also not only want to be helpful, but we want to encourage you to take some action. And then we're going to hold you accountable. In a week, we'll figure it out together here. But in a week or a few days, we want you to share with our community what's happening as a result of today and the action you're going to take. So what's your greatest takeaway that you want to do something with here that you heard from me and Andresa?
The biggest takeaway is to identify our strengths for the area, and then think about how we can contribute to others and what we're looking for, what we're missing, and then start a conversation, just like Andrea said. I think that's definitely is small steps we should build. And yes, I think that's the biggest.
That's doable.
Do you feel as stuck as you did at 12 o'clock? A half hour ago, do you feel less stuck than you did at 12, as you did when you started this conversation? Do you feel a little less stuck?
Yes.
Good.
I feel like after you talk about the different part, it's more clear. I think we have the signal coming out when we're talking, but we didn't feel so important to moving and take action and go straight. And there is a lot of small advice, as Liz and Andrea said, when doing this, asking, especially like asking what they are paying, what their trouble is. I never thought I can do that. I always said what we can offer, how we can go in I always feel like their team is complete. They don't need any help. Exactly. That's one of the things I never thought. Oh, I should be open for this. Yes.
Everyone has something they have to work through. Again, it's the problem of like having too much money or too little money. Most people have one of the two. So it's just funny. Like, how's too much money? Well, they're trying to shelter their money so they could pay taxes and they don't have to give it all. So there's always two sides of every coin. Growing company has growing pains. Don't forget that. They may look shiny, but we hope we were helpful here today. There is a quick question. I just want to mention, hey, Ann Chen, nice to have you on here. You said, what are the distinctions between a syndicator and a smaller multifamily operator? When I spoke to it, I meant that you might have people who are actually the general partner, if you will, right? They're the owner of the property. They're not syndicating it. They're not bringing in a bunch of different LPs to fund their deal. That's what I said, more of like a smaller multifamily operator. That's what I meant by that, is that they probably own it themselves and they have the money and the funds to kind of fund it, if you will. A syndicator is doing the opposite, right? They're the general partner and they're raising the money from limited partners to fund their deals. That's what I meant by that distinction, if that helps. Awesome. So Xiaofeng, by next Wednesday, we want to see some sort of update of how you're doing and again, where we can help you. And it's all about taking action. And that's what Andresa and I are so excited about too, coming up. If you haven't heard, June 12th. Yes. We are doing
a ticket.
Awesome.
There.
Yeah. You have to be living under a rock in our community. I think we post like 55 times a day, but we're just so excited about it. And we know what amazing breakthroughs are going to happen as a result. So that's why we're literally so passionate about it. Whether we have 5 people there or 1,000 people there, amazing things are going to happen. But we just want to serve more women. That's what Andresa and I are about. So just quick reminder, we got 2 weeks to go. If you have not gotten your ticket, get your ticket. TheRealEstateInvestor.com.
We have a special presentation about partnerships.
Yes, we do.
That Liz and I are going to be presenting about it because it's across the board, and what we think that people are like common sense, it isn't. So we are mindful on creating this. So we're going to be digging deeper.
And Xiaofeng, thank you so much for asking for help. You emailed me a bunch of questions, and it literally was the same day Andresa and I were, and I would have gotten back to you regardless, but it was like, wow, we can help you and start this whole video series. So thank you for asking for help. Thank you for putting yourself out there. See, you might be someone who's cautious, but you're putting yourself out there. You asked me for help. I don't get that many emails when I do, but regardless, we appreciate you. So thank you for being on here with us.
I want to say one thing is, like other women out there need help, go take the courage to connect, because the reason connect with Liz because I heard the interview of Liz with Michael Blanc on the way. And during the podcast, I said, I want to talk to this woman because she knows every single struggle I have. So I sent email and she replied the same day. And now I'm here within a week. So that's I feel so amazing and grateful. So grateful.
That's great.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being on. And we look forward to seeing your update and all the great things you're doing and wheeling and dealing in multifamily, because that's what we see for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And ladies, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next Wednesday at noon with another amazing woman. And if you want to be on our live, literally it's live and free, and we just want to help you, mentorship at therealestateinvestor.com. So
All right.
have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.